As always, who loves you and who do you love? Well, we love you.
Who loves you and who do you love?
He's right.
All right. As always.
Oh, is this the we're doing that?
Welcome to our Film Fathers podcast, the definitive podcast about fatherhood, film, and fatherhood in film. This is Jelani, and with me as always are a guy who's not into politics, he's into survival, and a guy with an amateur lab for making handcrafted soap, Martin and Brady.
I live to see you eat that contract, but I hope you leave enough room for my fist because I'm going to ram it into your stomach and break your goddamn spine.
I don't know how yet, but I'm going to fuck you up someday.
This week, we're stepping into a world where entertainment isn't just escapism, it's survival. We're taking a look at The Running Man, first with the 1987 original starring Arnold Schwarzenegger, a loud, violent, neon-soaked snapshot of 80s-era action cinema, and then jumping ahead to the 2025 reimagining that brings Stephen King's concept back into the spotlight for a very different audience. The original film turned a bleak dystopian idea into a pure blockbuster spectacle, leaning into one-liners, over-the-top villains, and a kind of satirical excess that only the 80s could deliver. But the new Running Man asks what this story looks like now, in an era of streaming, reality TV, viral fame, and a culture that's willing to turn suffering into content. Let's start running.
Running Man from 87 is one of my favorite movies.
I think
And you guys know I love King.
I haven't. So I'll say I haven't watched this. Maybe 20 plus years. But there was a time that I saw this, I would think, well over 20 times. I mean, in the 80s and 90s, like, I watched this movie a ton.
A ton, yeah.
A ton. And loved it.
I mean, I remember when I first found out that it was, I'm like, there's no, because it's Richard Bachman, it was a pseudonym or whatever. When I found out that it was Stephen King, I was like, there's no way this movie is Stephen King, like, that he wrote anything near it. And obviously it's very different because the new one is much closer to it, and there's no Christmas tree. But it's so good.
I saw a note, so I don't know, obviously. Listeners do know you're a massive Stephen King fan, and I don't know a ton about the Bachman pseudonym
Books.
that he wrote under,
Yeah.
or the Bachman books that he wrote, but I've heard of him in the past, and I knew that this was a Stephen King movie. But similarly, right, like this is not what I thought Stephen King wrote about, hence the pseudonym.
Yeah.
But it said when Rob Cohen purchased the rights to the Bachman novel, he was confused why it was so expensive. Given that Bachman was not very well known, and then he was told that Bachman was actually Stephen King, and it made a little more sense.
Yeah, I don't know when that was revealed, but it was revealed by the time I was made aware of Stephen King and the whole thing. So probably by like 89. So yeah, maybe right before the movie came out, maybe no one had known it yet.
Well, there was another Bachman movie. There was another movie released last year that was a Bachman,
Long Walk.
The Long Walk,
Yeah.
which was under the Bachman name. Which
And it's another dystopian one too.
And
That's
did
why
you see that?
I did see it. I read it.
I
I read it this year.
We believe you.
Yeah. Running Man I read back in the day, so I don't remember it very much at all. I remember it being kind of boring. You know, again, as a kid, when I was more into the the Schwarzenegger
The movie.
Running Man. Yeah. So I'm like, oh, this is kind of just dull because it was him, being running across the country as opposed to like an arena and like with the villains or the hunters that were like more just had characters and
He was running.
he was running. But yeah, Long Walk. I just think it's funny that Stephen King had a
I heard
really
it was a comedy.
good. No, very
Chuckle Hut.
some jokes, but
Laugh a mile.
But just that he was like you mentioned, like all the reality TV aspect of it, which is in both Long Walk and Running Man, which is crazy that he like predicted this kind of stuff.
I mean,
it's pretty prescient.
I think it was. I had not seen this in a long time, so I didn't have it.
Were you a frequent watcher though when you were younger?
No, I think because when I was coming up, like I had just gotten a few Arnold films, and I think I gravitated more of the pure action, like Predator and Terminator 2.
It's funny.
and-
I didn't. For whatever reason, it was
Yeah.
more. This was like I think like the staple Arnold movie that I like knew.
See, and I think this was one of the ones that fell off. Total Recall was another one.
That was
I
a little
remember.
later.
Yeah, they were. That's what I'm saying.
I
Like,
remember when I hit the theater, you know?
so Predator is 88, and I think that was like my intro. So I missed this one, and it didn't really pop up. So watching it the other night, I was like, this is the most 80s movie I've seen in forever. Like everything about it was just the music, the guy singing "Running Away with You," John Parr, just put him and Kenny Loggins. You just put them on the soundtrack, and it just puts it
John
in
Parr
1980s.
does St. Elmo's Fire, right?
Pretty
Probably.
Probably.
Yeah.
Harold
great
Faltmeyer
song.
was the
Man in Motion.
the guy who did the music for Beverly Hills Cop and
Okay.
Axel F.
Yeah, Axel.
But you're right. It is very 80s-esque. But I think to Martin's point too, I think it's right. Like the predicting of like how far ahead of the times that
for
was
sure.
is crazy.
Yeah,
Governments messing with footage and
Right.
messing
Yeah.
with
Changing everything
Even
that
the,
you said.
the
Headlines
ability
of it.
to do the facial swap back then seems like mind blowing.
Yeah.
I mean it's obviously old hand now. But
right. Then the way they do it, right? Like put a grid on a face and change it out and change the background. It's like, yeah, it probably did look cool when I was a kid, but yeah, the fact that you can do that shit now is
you
pretty
could
pretty wild.
tamper the audio tapes and then release have the originals and then doctor up the other ones and send those out. As you're just watching this though, I'm like, all the quips that Arnold has, just 80s all day, every day.
Yeah, that's what it was about.
The fact that he goes to the apartment and she's working out in her lingerie, like,
oh
okay.
man, like
what? That's what we were doing. But
Maria Conchita
Alonso,
Alonso.
great name to say. Just
Great
say
name.
it all day,
Love it.
all over the place.
another part of the Predator franchise.
No.
Predator 2.
Oh, is she in Predator?
Yeah.
2?
I didn't know that.
I don't remember in Predator 2.
Get it
I have to
together,
go back and
guys.
watch it.
I didn't know she was in anything other than this. I do not know. Let's not play the IMDb game for
No.
Maria
No.
Conchita
But you
Alonso.
got her and Arnold and Jesse the Body.
Yep. Well, she wasn't in Predator 1. That's
No, but I'm in the Predator.
in the Predator
ether.
verse. Yeah. The director. Well, you already mentioned Rob Cohn, who's producer, bought the rights. Same Rob Cohn that started the Fast and the Furious franchise.
Oh,
You had Starsky of Starsky and Hutch directing the film.
really?
Yeah.
Who's
think
the
I knew
actor's? What was his name?
Paul something. I don't remember, but I wrote it down as Starsky of Starsky and Hutch.
Michael Glazer.
Michael Glazer.
Paul Michael Glazer.
There it is. See?
I didn't know it was Starsky though.
And then probably the most 80s of 80s persons, Richard Dawson.
Oh my
Yeah.
gosh! Like
Perfectly
such
cast.
and not their first choice.
Who
Chuck
was?
Woolery.
Oh,
But he was busy filming a ton of game shows. And no, Dawson feels like I
Dawson
guess him
felt
and Arnold
right.
were really good friends, so they it worked, and I felt like it's the Dawson from The Feud, where he's kissing
everybody.
kissing literally every woman in sight. He is perfect for this
you
movie.
get the
And
Running Man home edition.
and I think it's what I know him from more than anything, because I wasn't
Yeah.
really watching The Feud
No.
in the 80s, but this is how I knew him. And then he was like, oh, this is the guy from The Running Man hosting the show.
You got Jesse the Body in there as Captain Freedom. Why was Jim Brown in this movie? Did it need to be Jim Brown?
well, his
No.
whole thing was that he wanted to be in.
Yeah.
I know he wanted to be an actor, but
so
it just
why not? He auditioned and looked. It felt
I
right for the
probably
part.
didn't audition. I'm assuming he
they
just,
just gave it to him.
Well, you know what I'm saying.
Yeah, he was a well-known
yeah,
athlete. This is a more of a thing back then,
yeah.
where and he was a big guy.
Before OJ went to the Naked Gun series.
Yeah, right.
Did you see the one scene where they're sitting and watching, and it's like Jim Brown sitting in the front, and everybody's like sitting behind him, and they're watching, and then all of a sudden they like cut back to that scene, and then it's Jesse sitting in the exact same spot. Everybody else is like the same. They just swapped him and
I
Jesse.
didn't notice
out.
it, but yeah, I'm sure.
They might have done some face swapping there or character swapping, but
Yeah,
it was just very funny.
of the background. Do you guys remember the song?
Running away.
No, it was "Who Loves You and Who Do You Love" was like on repeat. It's like a rave song. I think it was. I think I found it here. It's Messiah, Temple of Dreams, or something like that. But it's I would hear it, and I'm like, how do I know that from? And then I saw the movie, and I'm like, oh, it's from the thing. I
This
didn't
is
think
what
I
it's
realized
from.
until much later, but like you
Yeah.
said, I've seen the movie a bunch of times, and I'm like, why do I know that line?
Right.
And then at some point I connected it, but it's just funny to me that someone takes a little sample from the movie and makes a song out of it.
And a movie they probably loved. And
Yeah.
yeah. So I didn't read the book, but when I saw the opening, I was like, oh shit! Like, because it's been since before. It says by 2017 the world economy's collapsed and all
Yeah.
this, and I was like, oh man! So like when I was watching it, this is all futuristic, and now I'm watching it, and this is in the past.
Yeah.
And which is an interesting dynamic to think about. And then obviously later come to find that the book actually was written in 2025 when the new Running Man came out. So, yeah, just a very, very long term future. What the future looked like, envisioned.
Yeah, like the predictions are of 1984 and
Yeah.
2017 or 2025. They're always off by a little bit, right?
Yeah.
Or maybe more than a little bit. But I feel like every sci-fi probably should add at least like 50 years to what they're trying to do. And there's like, I think they may maybe some of the more modern ones do that. Like they make it more like 100 years or 200 years because then you have a little bit more time to get it right.
We also had Mick Fleetwood.
Was he in it?
He was Mick.
He was the
He was
the
like
rebellion.
he was like the head of the rebellion with like long white hair. That was Mick
Oh,
Fleetwood.
that was him. That's crazy.
And Dweezil Zappa was like
I love
his-
Dweezil.
I was just like, I saw Mick Fleetwood's name in the beginning, and I was like, Mick Fleetwood? Question mark? Like, for real? Then his name was Mick, and I'm like, oh, okay, got it.
Got to stretch there.
And then our boy from the Mallrats, Sven Ole Thorson.
Is that the big guy?
It was
dynamo?
the like security guy.
The Force?
Yeah,
Oh,
Yeah.
and he was the security guy who came out, and at the end
At
he
the
turned
end,
and just
I got to go get some steroids.
just gonna go walk off. They said apparently he was like a stuntman for Arnold too for a lot of movies in the 80s.
That makes sense. I honestly
But yeah,
thought
LaFleur's.
I thought that might have been his brother.
Go at LaForce with a sack full of quarters. Bickety bam, the motherfucker is rubble.
When he showed up, I was like, oh, maybe that's his brother, and he was like in on it the whole time. But
You know what? I think that's like a common. I think I saw that that's like a fan theory that it is that's the case.
Yeah.
I didn't put that together, but
I mean, when you mentioned that he's his stunt double or was his stunt double, it makes sense. Like obviously because of the size and whatnot, but that's where I thought.
I just feel like they would have made some. Like he would have made some mention of it.
Yeah,
But
but my one take technicality.
oh god, it's only one.
Well, one of the.
Let me
few.
call out one more person because
Sure.
I think it's shaped what I always. Not that I see this guy all the time, but Kurt Fuller, who is like super douche in my brain.
Yeah.
Like it's like all he is this whiny little douchey guy. And when I saw him, I was like, I think this is where that all started. I think this is what I know him from.
See, I think I know him as a douche from Ghostbusters 2
He definitely is a
because I
douche
think
in
he's the one
Ghostbusters
that
2.
commits the Ghostbusters.
That's
Wayne's World.
2 years later. I just think this is where it started for me
Probably,
with
yeah.
him. And when I see him, it all stems from this.
yeah.
But sorry, your technicality.
And
Technicality.
Jelani knows him from Psych.
I do know him from Psych. I didn't want to bring it up. But.
Why not? Come on. That's like our thing. We bring up obscure USA Network shows.
Yeah, you like those, and I like silk stockings.
We all did. When they shoot the people down the tubes,
Yeah.
they
do
grease
it
the
in both.
tubes. Come on, grease the tubes, guys. You're gonna burn something up.
That's a natural lubricant, I think.
These people are gonna catch on fire before
the
they can even
future.
start running.
That's how you get the cool sparks.
Yeah, it's
You're not making it alive out those tubes if it catches on fire.
The lube tube was your problem, not the like 160 degree turn.
there was a slight
Was
bend.
that supposed
That
to
was
be
some
just
like,
the way
why
I
they
think it was
filmed
just the camera like
Yes.
going from side to side.
I think it is. Yeah, it was the only way they could
weird.
like almost panoramic, like make it look
Right.
like it fit.
Was there a mirror in the tube? Like who's looking? There's
Oh,
there's a turn.
That was just like very, very
had
cutting
vertigo.
edge, filming technology
Yeah,
at the
for
time.
sure.
They're like, let's make this look really cool.
and then having the different hunters that came out and
I mean, that was the thing that I think I loved about this universe as a kid. You're just like, I wanted to see more of them. I wanted to see 20.
Yes.
And they are each one having a cool different thing. Like you're like, oh, Dynamo! What the hell is fucking Dynamo? Why is he a Christmas tree?
An operatic.
That's why when he
Christmas
says
tree.
it,
Yeah.
you're like, this is so fucking funny.
Yeah.
Because that's what we were all thinking. Like, why are you dressed up like a Christmas tree? But yeah, they didn't have. They're not that cool, really. There could have been a lot cooler ones.
Buzzsaw was like coolish for
Yeah,
the
probably.
80s.
Yeah,
but-
it probably makes the most sense,
Right.
right?
Well,
But
definitely
like
more than Dynamo.
yeah, and more than a guy with a goalie, a killer goalie. What was his name? I forget, but
Yeah.
that's just like a silly one.
The hockey stick of
Hockey
razor
stick guy.
blades.
So like, yeah, you could
But
come up with some really cool ones.
Jim Brown
Sub-Zero?
had the, oh, that's right.
Sub-Zero.
He was Sub-Zero.
It's a great name. Used later in Mortal Kombat,
Right.
and I was
Jim
like,
Brown-
Sub-Zero. That's the name of.
Jim Brown had the jetpack and the flamethrower.
Yeah,
So, I mean, that's kind
He
of...
used Fireball. They just
you're right. Fireball was pretty cool.
a flamethrower was pretty badass.
Yeah.
But Jesse the Body used to do it with his bare hands, man. We were gladiators.
How do you not love Jesse the Body? That's my question.
The way he talks it's like he always just has that chaw in his mouth.
But it does make it seem to me, thinking back, like you could have replaced Dynamo or Erland Van Lith, who played Dynamo, with nothing but like professional wrestlers. Like
Yeah, it would have been cool.
years
That's a
later, when
call.
when they leaned more into the entertainment aspect of
Yeah.
it, like Jesse Ventura was ahead of his time in that regard. Like he had the ability to be like to talk and be entertaining. Early in the days, like that wasn't as much the case. It was a lot more physical. Like guys looked huge and they just went out there and wrestled. That turned into The Rock, obviously, and Stone Cold and all
John
these guys.
Cena.
Pick your guy. Cena, yeah.
No, I wouldn't say he's my guy at all.
I thought you
outside of the rim,
Oh,
the
okay.
ring, maybe.
Yeah,
But that's what all these guys should have been. If they were, I'm glad they didn't. But if they were remaking this movie,
That's what I'm saying.
it would be. That's the people that I would put in those. Like they're all big, they all can do more than just like be a guy with like lit up. Like they can have some sort of special skill set,
Correct.
but also be a jacked dude who is like a physical specimen.
That's exactly right. And so, like the remake, I'm glad that they, were closer to the book. Didn't have that whole crazy element. But there is a movie to be made, remaking the '87 version with what you're just saying. Like, do it with like wrestlers.
Maybe.
Do it over the top, silly '80s, but in
Yeah.
2025
I don't think it
or in
plays.
2035 or 45.
I don't think it plays.
Maybe not.
I mean,
probably not. I mean, that's
yeah.
why that's what I'm saying. I'm not saying do it. Like, I'm glad Edgar Wright made the movie he made, but
Well, and I didn't realize that. And we can talk a little more about the old one if we want, but
Yeah,
I
we'll
didn't-
get back to it, but-
I didn't realize that what he made, because I had heard it was going to be a reimagining of Running Man. I was
Yeah.
like, okay, cool, like that, I'm fine with that. But I didn't realize that what he made was actually way more of an actual capturing of the book.
Yeah.
I thought it was just like, oh, I just have a different version. Which with Edgar Wright, it's not crazy. I expected a ton of music. I'm like,
yeah, I expected more music.
More
too.
music?
Yeah, even more.
Yeah, I
feel
think
like
so.
There was
good-
some moments.
it was
Yeah.
a pretty normal balance, I would say.
but if we're going into it,
Let's go
guys,
into it.
I didn't love Glenn Powell in this. I don't know why. Something about maybe it's like they made him like tried to make him like this angry dude,
You don't see him as an angry dude?
but he was
Too
then also trying to be
charismatic.
funny. Yeah, he's like too charismatic to be this angry or something. I don't know. Something didn't work for me,
Go ahead. I have thoughts.
Yeah.
and I wanted to I haven't really fleshed out my thoughts on it, so
Sure.
I need you guys to help me. with it.
So I didn't know the backstory of Edgar Wright's version. So I was anticipating it was going to be a reimagining of the 87 version and, not shot for shot remake, but along those lines. So when they expanded it across the country, they changed kind of like the genesis of why he's going for it and things like that. Like that did change it. And I don't know if I loved it. It was good. I like Edgar Wright. I don't think this is his best Edgar Wright work.
That's kind of for sure what I'm saying. I expected to love it because it's Edgar Wright, because it's Stephen King, because it's Glenn Powell.
Yeah.
And I think a little bit of disappointment on each. Like Glenn Powell did not act it exactly right. I told you I don't love that Stephen. It's not my favorite Stephen King book, so
Yeah.
they could have maybe improved upon it. And then Edgar Wright, it wasn't as Edgar Wright as Baby Driver to me. So it's like I don't know. I was maybe just disappointed for those reasons, but I enjoyed it.
So
It's not a rewatch, though.
I enjoyed the movie. I was like, I watched it in 2 parts, just due to timing, and enjoyed both. And like on the first one, I was like planning on stopping with like an hour left so I could come back and finish it. And I really wanted to finish it because I was like, I'm kind of enjoying myself and enjoying the ride, or the run. But I stopped and I came back and I watched it. So Martin, I think I'm in agreement with you though. Like Glenn Powell in general, I don't think he can play. He's like too clearly fleshed out.
Yeah, right.
I want to say it right. He is like he doesn't have the ability, in my opinion, to sell me on being truly angry.
Yeah, that's what it was.
And because he is just such a positive,
like this
facing-
uncontrollable rage that you're really going to like risk everything because you have that bad with your temper. I just don't know if I buy it from him. I don't know who I would buy it from. I think I'd buy it from Bautista.
Robert Loggia.
You bring Loggia in here.
but when you
him.
started saying it, I was like, I think I'm in pretty much in agreement with you. There were things I thought he was really good. He
is an action star. There's no doubt.
There's no doubt. But the selling me on him being, again, this rage-filled madman doesn't work because it's like I can't quite get there knowing what we've seen from him. I guess in that regard, I just don't think that's his forte.
Yeah. They tried with all the things that, how disgruntled he was after getting fired from all of his different jobs. But again, like the reason he gets fired from the jobs is not because he's, pissed off at the work. They're going against him because he's trying to like help everybody else out or get people,
He's such a bad
saved.
guy.
Right. He's a good guy at heart. So it's, again, like you said, it's not like somebody who has that much good in them probably can't flip the switch to be that angry all the time. Like, yes, I understand at the end when, he thinks his wife and daughter are dead, I can see the rage kicking in and, losing it after being through all this. But
that's probably the most believable it was.
Right.
Was then, for me. But yeah, it's the earlier part. At the beginning seems almost like he's trying to convince everyone that he's actually angry when it's like, I don't buy it, but
yeah. And I think, what might have worked a little bit better was if it was he kept escaping like he did in the beginning, like he kept escaping and things happened because of accidents. Like when he's in the basement and he accidentally lights the flypaper on fire.
Right.
And then everything starts
coincidence.
Yeah.
Right?
But if that
he's
was
saying that, I think he's saying that he prefers that. That's because he's not
a killer.
A super action star. He's just like he is.
Like he stumbles
lucky
into all of this stuff.
I just think if they had like they're saying the formula was, they have the one guy that dies right away, like the SNL guy, what's his name?
Hurley.
And then you have one person that makes it really long, but like, no one really makes it the whole way. Like I feel like he could have been dead right there. He should have been probably dead right there. So that was just a little bit of almost too much luck.
But I think like what you do is you take that aspect of he's super lucky, but you spin it, right? And they would obviously have to doctor his tapes because he's not going to be angry all the time. He's going to send in and talk about all the good stuff and, start to try and uncover everything. But they're going to doctor those images because, he sends those tapes in.
Right.
But if he kept playing that up like, you're walking down the hall and, the guys get electrocuted because Michael Cera's got all the water and everything. Like it all just happens to chance that he's surviving.
You mean Scott Pilgrim?
Yeah. It's not that he's like turning heel and going,
that's true.
Full
and you're
anger.
right. They probably had safeguards in place so they don't tell everybody about every little thing else. Yeah, it worked.
Yeah.
It's like they're tracking everything. They don't just track his wristband that they put on.
Right.
Well, so here's my other question.
We do always know where you're at.
So they kept sending the money, right? And obviously, spoiler alert, his family doesn't get killed. Does he get the $1 billion new dollars? And if he does he just move to the place where everybody is wealthy and living good?
Well, that's why
they end it much more on like a
he's a revolutionary and they're
Yeah.
going to change. But like, from what I remember of the book, like, and every Stephen King, it always ends bleak. Like,
Right.
it did not have any type of, hey, we're gonna topple this regime or anything like that. It was all just bad, bad
like,
for everyone.
Like he died, and then
Yeah.
the thing still went on, and
Yep.
they just switched it to a new show,
Yeah.
and the two
Yeah.
guys were
He's
watching
not,
TV.
He's not saving anything.
Yeah.
I was expecting more from the main hunter. I was expecting like a cameo, like of somebody
Yeah.
else. I was expecting it to be somebody else,
Do
or
you-
to be someone
No.
like a.
Well, he's
more
the
of
only
a-
one that made it.
No, I know, but
Right.
then even I.
Being a bigger guy because his face is covered the
I mean,
whole
like
time.
an actor.
Do
Like
you know
I was-
you know that actor?
I don't
Seen
think
him and
so.
stuff?
So I know
his
him
name.
from Guardians of the Galaxy,
Yeah.
but I don't know
Pace?
Lee Pace.
Lee Pace, yeah.
But I don't know him from anything else, and apparently he's been in a lot of stuff.
A lot of TV shows.
Maybe then.
Yeah,
He
because
was in Halt and Catch Fire, I want to say. Let me see. Which I'm surprised you guys
think-
don't watch.
I
It
thought
seems
Brady
like a Brady
did.
show.
No, I didn't. I think
Because isn't
Iman
what's her
did.
name?
If that's him.
The blonde girl.
I might be wrong.
Yeah, in *Halt and Catch Fire*, it's
Yeah.
He
the
is,
one from The Martian. She's
Yeah.
one of the techs in The Martian.
Yeah, she was also.
Let me make sure
and-
I have the right.
No,
yeah, Halt and Catch Fire. Yeah, he's the main guy. And
That's
that was
Mackenzie
actually pretty good.
Davis.
Yes.
Who, yes, she's in The Martian, but is even better.
Terminator: Dark Fate.
Station 11.
Oh, okay.
Yes. But yeah, so to your point, I think he might be kind of like a sci-fi.
Yeah, I
dude,
guess
'cause
I
he's in Foundation.
don't know him well.
You could have had Batista. Put him there. He would have been a good hunter.
That would have worked.
Although you would have had to make him. He could be a villain.
To be honest, I didn't even recognize that it was him.
Yeah, I thought it was him, but I'm like, he did look slightly different.
Well,
And-
they scar him up a little bit.
Yeah.
But
You know who I didn't recognize until the very end?
Josh Brolin.
No. Maeve from Task.
Oh yeah,
I was
yeah.
like,
Oh, I saw her right away.
I saw her and
I
I was
just
like,
watched it,
Where
so.
do I know her from? And then I was like, I had to look her up. I was like, oh, that's right.
She was so good in Task.
Oh my
everyone
God.
acted so well in that.
but she
they don't win awards.
she just did, I think, win like, a
did
Critics'
she?
Choice Award or
Yeah.
something. Oh God, she's so. I mean,
She was in something else. Oh, she was in
in
Coda.
Coda.
Yeah,
She's the daughter from Coda.
That's
which
right,
is
yeah.
when seeing her in Task, it was like, wait, that's the girl from Coda.
Yeah.
Which is, I think a good thing, right? Like, because she can play a wide variety.
Mm-hmm.
She's got range, as they say in the biz.
I did like Coleman Domingo as the host.
But I would say
worked.
perfectly cast.
Yeah,
It worked, yeah.
I think he did a really good job at that.
It was a phenomenal job.
Yeah.
I thought a very random cameo from Debbie Mazar.
In the Americano.
Yeah.
The
Like trying to be a
Kardashian mom?
Yeah.
Yeah.
it was just like, what? You don't even need a real like name for that role. Like, I just thought it was such a random spot.
Yeah,
to
that
put
was
her in.
that whole thing was a little strange, right?
I think it's just all part of the whole.
Again,
Either of-
tying it back to our
Yeah.
current world of reality television and being like,
Yeah.
this is where we're headed.
Right. And it
But I
has
do think it was like, does that movie work without that entirely? I think
Yeah,
it does.
Yes.
or only doing it like once instead of like there's like 3 or 4 times I feel like they hinted at it, and
Yeah.
it was like, is this going to be a bigger part than it was? And it really wasn't. I thought he was going to actually,
go on the show or
Some-
involve them somehow.
more than
I thought they were going to show a couple other shows because they walked through the studio, and I thought I saw like Simon Rex on a poster, and like, do
That checks out.
who's that?
you remember Simon
Simon
Rex
Rex?
from MTV?
Come on, bruh.
Maybe.
He looked like he was one of the game show hosts, but they were just showing like a bunch of the different game shows that people could get picked for.
It would have probably been good to see like like even if he was just flipping through the channels, but like, you saw the treadmill.
For like interdimensional cable.
Yeah. Or just like, you just pick like somebody who hosted The Real World, or like Johnny Knoxville's hosting the new Fear Factor or something like that.
Yeah,
You just
yeah,
have
yeah.
like different hosts of random
Yeah,
shows
that could've
that
been
would have
fun.
been on different things. But I have heard that that's how like MTV does all of their shows is you just go into a giant casting call and you just say, hey, I want to be on a show.
Something.
I really want to be on
And
your
then they
channel.
figure out
They-
they match
yeah,
you with
they
what your
match
best,
you with
that,
what
I mean,
show
that makes
you're gonna
sense,
be,
right? Especially
yeah,
with that
picked
much
in.
reality. Like you're more Survivor, you're more Big Brother, you're more
Yeah.
music something.
Yeah, exactly. You don't even get to pick like the show you want to go on.
Great question. Would you guys ever do a reality show, and if so, what category? Or
Currently
is
in
it
my
anything
life?
Yeah,
At 45,
I mean, fine. If you're
I'm
perfect
just saying,
health,
like you're talking about, we got like
if you're
I gotta-
perfect health, then you're not. It's not so much like the reality of your being able to be on a reality TV show, but like, would you do it philosophically or theoretically, or like, do you have a opposition to it?
I think now I do. I think I maybe would have been naive enough not to if we were like when J-Mac and I wanted to do The Amazing Race.
Yeah. See, that's. Yeah, I would not want to be anywhere near. I don't want to be famous at all. I don't want anyone
I'll do
hating
this old
me,
house.
loving me.
The weird thing was
knowing
I
me.
didn't want to be.
I want anonymity.
I didn't want it for fame. I just thought it would be really cool, like
Well,
to go
isn't that
like
the
to be able to do some
yeah.
of those like.
For that, I agree with you there. Like, if I could do it and retain my anonymity,
Yeah.
then I would do it.
You wear the mask like our Lee Pace.
Like
Yeah,
the hunter.
If I could be the masked
Yeah,
singer.
it wasn't for me. It wasn't like, I want everyone to know who I am. No, fuck.
I think that's what most people do it for their 15
I
minutes.
think you're
of fame,
100% right.
Which is, and I'm opposed to that. I don't want.
Yeah.
You don't remember they
That's
all
why
came?
I don't watch reality TV.
Yeah, I
I
don't-
think it's
I don't.
all absurd.
Like after the shows were done, like they would all go on like the college tours. And
Oh,
they
I
came to
hung-
Iowa City.
I hung out with some of them.
Who are
at
you
the
talking
summit.
about?
Like the real world.
Real world cast.
Yeah.
Yeah, they came to Iowa City.
Yeah, that was their fame though. But
Yeah.
like we had fun when we were 22 hanging out with them. But
Yeah.
like I didn't necessarily want to be them. I was already doing what they were doing.
right.
So your answer is what? Yeah. Would you do it now? Would you do it in your 20s?
In my 20s,
What's your stance on it?
I probably would have still leaned towards the game show, not like full on reality, like Real World or stuff like that. Maybe,
I think I'd do a game show.
yeah.
Yeah,
like
that's
you'd still go on a game show, but like a Survivor or a Fear Factor or something like that,
Yeah,
probably
like that.
not.
Probably not. No.
Anything that's like on HGTV now, I'd probably do.
You would be like a house hunter.
House Hunter or
House Hunter.
What
The mask
is-
on.
what is the one? Love it or list it kind of a thing
Yeah.
or something like that. You would do that.
Yeah.
Actually, I have.
I don't
friends-
really
I have
feel
a couple
like that
friends
counts,
that have been on.
but-
Yeah, it's because it's not a whole. It's just like one episode and whatever. It's not a whole like. Season
Oh, we have
of
to be on a whole
television.
season.
That's kind of what I'm saying. Like more
Home
like a
renovation.
whole season.
Like
of
renovate my
television.
house, renovate my life type of deal.
Yeah.
One other cameo I wanted to call out was William H. Macy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Kind of very brief. He is funny. I feel like we talked about this a while ago. Robert Duvall didn't really change his look for like such a long span of time, and I feel like that's how when I see William H. Macy, I feel similarly. Like
He's in his like Shameless.
he
era.
still looks like Frank from Shameless. Like,
Yeah.
and that was
But that changed.
20 fucking years ago.
Like it was.
Yeah.
But he changed a lot from what he was before that to when he became Frank.
Fargo.
Fargo.
To
right.
him.
From Fargo and like this, what the heck, like this dorky dude to turn into Frank
It's really weird
was
to
a
me
transformation.
that-
But now
Yeah.
he stayed on that. Yeah. It's-
I
I love William H. Macy.
What?
Well-
for that reason.
real quick, and it's of note because I actually had just heard that he has a really good cameo in Train Dreams too that just came out.
yeah, I watched it.
And hopefully we do that. But I just thought it was so when I saw him, I was like, oh man, he's kind of just like really hitting these little cameo spots here.
Pop
which-
up here and there when you
good.
need me. What was his job that he was going to bring him on to do? So he said, "Hey,
Yeah, I think they're help running that underground,
just
like market,
underground runners,
whatever
Yeah,
that.
Okay,
I don't really technically know what they did. I mean, he seemed to be a man that could get things or make things.
yeah, have some
Part of the resistance.
Black Irish,
Viva la resistance.
Yeah, he was in the resistance
yeah."
realm.
So I was just curious because he's like, I was going to bring you on.
Yeah, I got you a suit
Got-
and everything.
Could have told
Got him
me
coveralls.
a day ago.
Maybe don't tell my wife and just call me.
Right.
What surprise you were trying to run, but yeah, I enjoyed him even though he was getting his hand smashed to shit.
How'd the movie do? Like,
6.4 on
people go see it? Like in the box office?
I don't know if a ton of people saw it, but
And what does it have? 63 Rotten Tomatoes is probably about fair. Let's see if the audience score is a little higher, 78%. That's probably fair too. You expect people to just like it, look back on it fondly, or
how Derry's having a moment.
you mean Stephen King?
Stephen King's
and
Derry?
the It stuff. Yeah, I mean, I think it's probably his. People always say like The Stand or like the Dark Tower series is like his big. That's like his biggest or best work or his legacy. I think it's it, and I think it's gonna over time be even more just because the remake, the original '90s miniseries were
Tim Curry.
scared everybody, and we all loved it, and it like did a ton for miniseries in general, and his career, I think, because everyone loved Stephen King. And then these remakes did really well, and now the show it seems to be doing pretty well. I have not seen it yet, but I feel like people are obsessed with the whole concept of Pennywise and it, and it really is like the most Stephen King story. Like it's very much does tie into this whole bigger other realm of concepts of stuff that ties into like the Dark Tower stuff too. So yeah, Derry, it's a thing.
To answer your question, according to IMDb today, the budget was estimated at right around 110 million, and it's made around 105 million. So probably not considered a huge success, but maybe that's good relative to what the movies are doing these
especially
days.
if you count the marketing, because there was a decent amount of marketing for this movie.
Yeah, it's weird. So like, I don't know if so, and that's the Glenn Powell of it all is good because you can pull in the new, the younger audience right now because he is revered. And you can
Nolan loves him.
Catch the older audience.
Nolan's all in on Glenn Powell.
what's doing it for him?
Maverick and he watched some other stuff with it. But
Anyone but you?
Definitely Maverick. No, he has
big rom-com.
Big rom-com guy.
Hitman. You can check out Hitman.
But then you get the all of us that want to watch that do appreciate the old Running Man. Although it's not a remake. So which one of you maybe said you wouldn't rewatch it? I think there's a chance I would rewatch
I
it.
would probably go back.
I said it's not like a immediate. I said it's not a rewatch, but what I meant is not like immediate. It's not like I'm like no, turn it off. I'll never watch it again. But I'm not going to be like, ooh, I can't wait. There's some movies where I watch it and I'm like, I really can't wait to watch that again at some point.
Yeah.
And this is not one of them. It wasn't like I'm gonna definitely rewatch this sometime. I probably won't care if it's on. I'll watch it.
Yeah, it's going to be down the list on the Glenn Powell movies.
Yeah. Whereas the Arnold version, if it's on, I will put it on. It's a Shawshank.
Friend of the pod, Tom, was watching, I think, or maybe watched for the first time. I can't believe it would have been the first time. But
I can't imagine.
I know he texted us a couple weeks back that he was watching it, and I do swear he said he'd never seen it, but
what did he say? I can't remember what
he was like, this is ridiculously bad.
Maybe it was the first time then.
Which is what you would think if you hadn't seen it. If you had, this always was what we say, right? Like, if you did have the nostalgia play for it, it'd be like, you don't look at that movie and be like, that's bad. You like, that's unbelievable. Yeah. But if you looked at that brand new, you'd be like, that is a horse shit. It's so badly acted.
Last year's Big Losers.
So,
I do have to shout out that I went to see Long Walk with Charlie and Mike Petrus.
Nice.
So,
Doctor.
Doctor No. Never to be seen again on the pod.
Maybe we'll fix that someday soon.
As always, who loves you and who do you love? Well, we love you as a listener, but we'd love you even more as a subscriber. Thanks, and go to bed.